Brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bullpen Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
It's Wednesday. It's the Bumpin' Stacy show. I'm here, but now I got another partner, but I got like a steady DH, though, We had Left Cole the past couple of days. Had a great time, but I got my guy Curtis Rogers back. Curtis, how you doing?
Good to be back, Bump. Good to be back.
Yeah, man, and we're here. We are at the ballpark. It's a matinee game. It starts at 1:10, the third game against the Tigers, and let's get right into it, Curtis.
Do we have to?
I think it's our job. I think it's our job, honestly.
Okay.
And I'm trying not to panic. I feel like this is the third year in a row where I'm telling myself not to panic. But there are some things that we've seen that are all too familiar.
It was concerning last night. I think last night was the most concerned I've been so far in any of these 6 games that we've seen get played on this opening homestand because, look, you did get the one hit, but it was the very first batter of the game. And then after that, 27 outs. So you were no hit after the one hitter.
You put it like that, goodness gracious.
I'm sorry, but that's just the reality of what last night was. And, I mean, look, yes, the season in which we are in is not conducive to an offensive environment here at this ballpark. Sure, we have talked about that a lot. We had Mike Petriello of MLB.com on during the offseason to talk about just what this ballpark can do in terms of suppressing offense. So, yes, I think adjusting your expectations in terms of scoring in these parts of the season is something that I think people should be doing, but that doesn't explain just one hit. There are still hits to be had on this field we see. It's rather expansive. Like that's a big outfield where balls can fall in at any time, and only one found its way through last night.
Yeah, it was tough to watch. You saw your team struggling. You saw the performance that Logan had. When you sit 10 down, you expect to be in the mix, and that just wasn't the case. And maybe Dan Wilson has some explanation here. Cut one.
Yeah, I mean, he seemed to be moving it around, and location was pretty good tonight, and just kept us from mounting anything. We did, again, hit a couple balls hard at timely times, or at timely points in the game. They were able to make a play and kind of shut things down. But, we just weren't able to get much going offensively.
Is that what you saw, Curtis? I mean, I did see the Mariners get behind a couple and square it up and hit it pretty hard. And sometimes you're just unlucky, but sometimes when you are part of this fan base, you look at the squad and you're trying not to revert back to feelings you've had over the past few years. And when you're in the dugout, you are the manager. That's the way you're supposed to look at the situation. You just get unlucky. But I can understand why some fans would be reluctant to buy into that.
Right, and they were able to get base runners last night. Ended up getting at least 4 runners into scoring position. The problem is that they went 0 for 4 with those runners in scoring position last night. You drew 4 walks, only struck out 7 times, which that strikeout number is encouraging because you were putting balls in play more often than you were, getting sat down, striking out. I mean, you look at the Tigers; they struck out 13 times in their 27 outs. So they were, when they were swinging, they were missing quite a bit last night. But I mean, you just kind of go up and down these numbers, Bump, in terms of batting average, on base percentage, OPS with every single one of these guys in the Mariners starting lineup. It stunk that Jorge Polanco was out of the lineup last night.
Right.
I mean, that's something out of anybody's control is when the birth of a child happens. It stunk in terms of like, man, I wish the Mariners could have their best hitter in the lineup over the next couple of days. He's not in today's lineup either. So I would imagine he will rejoin the team probably on their road trip in San Francisco over the next couple of days. But, I mean, it looks like a struggle right now for a lot of these guys. Cal Raleigh only batting 100. Randy Arozarena 158. Luke Raley 167. Rowdy Tellez 100. Your best hitter right now is Julio, which seems interesting because it feels like once again he is the most criticized. Now, he should be your best hitter. Like, that is not a wild expectation to have of him entering any kind of season. But even, like, I don't even think him alone was going to adjust the outcome to last night. It just felt like this offense was soggy. It was not fun. It was ugly last night, and here they are in a unenviable situation coming into the series finale, looking to avoid a sweep. And who do you have facing you today? The reigning American League Cy Young Award winner.
Right. Wait about great bounce back game. Ready. Tee it up, bounce back game. Let's go, boys. It feels like last year's woes are carrying over to this year. Passing feels the same. Cut two.
Baseball's hard. Like you can take the approach that you want and you can prioritize strikeouts, but if you have swing and miss in your game, you're not going to wish cast it away. You're not going to say, hey, today I think I'm not going to strike out. It changes everything about your game when you start prioritizing things that you are not physically capable of doing. And, with a guy like Cal Raleigh, it's an okay trade-off because the power is there. It's just you can't have guys who don't have slug and do have high strikeouts.
So what he's saying is, this is part of your personality, honestly.
Yeah.
Curtis, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm going to be 40 this year, right? And there are some things about me that my family just has to accept, right?
You're not changing it.
I'm not going to change at this point, right? If I'm in a serious situation, I'm going to make light of it. I'm going to crack a joke. Everyone's going to be mad at me. Why aren't you taking it seriously? This is just who I am at this point.
Over there.
Exactly. So is that fair for us to just understand and say, look, this is who this team is. They're going to strike out. But then if we look at it that way, we can also look at some of the runs that they have and say we should expect some of that too.
Yeah, I think, too, the Mariners have shown over the course of really this core's existence on the Major League roster that they are capable of going on some runs. Like, these lows, they are very low. Like, it always feels like kind of, will they ever be able to hit their way out of this? And then occasionally over the summer, you see them go on a 6-game win streak, a 7-game win streak. Last year, they got their record up to, 44-31. That was like the high point of the season when they were 10 games up in the division. We all know how that ended, unfortunately. But you don't get to that kind of record without stringing together a lot of wins in a row or going on a hot streak where you win 8 of 10, where you win 10 of 12, something like that. It just stinks that you are starting this season off digging your way out of a hole when we have always talked about, wanting to set yourself up nicely to where you're making it easier on yourself the later in the season. Logan Gilbert talked about it in spring where it's like, hey, a random Tuesday night in May could mean the difference between us making the playoffs and us not making the playoffs. Not to say that, the Mariners are already toast after what we've seen over the season's first 6 games, but every game has an importance to it, and you want to get rid of this funk that they're in as quickly as possible before things start to compound, before things start to get out of control, and all of a sudden, you're in a spot that like the Astros were in last year where they were horrible in April and had to dig their way out of the basement of the AL West most of the season. Now, they were able to do it. They had a ton of roster talent. They were able to do so, but you never want to find yourself in that spot. And not to say that the Mariners are going to be in that spot, but you want to just absolutely shake yourself of what we saw last night, what we've kind of seen over the course of this homestand, because in their 2 wins, they've just gotten incredibly timely hits from Polanco, from Rosarena, and from Julio. You hate to think about what we would be talking about today if it weren't for those 2 hits, or if it weren't for those 3 hits, because it's like, man, would they be 0-6? Would they be 0-6 heading into a game against the AL Cy Young Award winner? They're not. Thankfully, we don't have to talk about it like that.
Thank you, Randy.
It's still very concerning, I would say.
So now we heard a cut from Pass, and he's talking about, look, this is why this offense is looking the way that it does, because you have a personality. This is who you are. But then he contradicts himself. It's kind of like us trying to buy into what the Mariners are selling and trying to stay positive. And in cut number 4, he tells you why you can't judge this offense as the same as last year.
No, just because guys progress year over year and guys change, and you're going to have ones who are better and you're going to have ones who regress. And it's too early to know at this point what that is. I mean, we can take away little clues and little signals, and maybe maybe it's just noise, or maybe there's something there. But you guys know me. Like, Memorial Day is my line of demarcation typically as to what a team both is and can be. Numbers have stabilized at that point, and we have a sense of what we're dealing with and what progress is actually real and what might actually be a mirage of the first couple of weeks.
All right, so he says, get to Memorial. You get to Memorial, and that's at least where Passan says, this is when I have a good idea of what this team is. But once again, it's just hard to ignore that you're kind of getting off to the same start that you've had the past couple of seasons. Your pitching is decent. You're going out there, you're sitting guys down. You're just not able to produce any runs. The last time the Mariners were one hit, it was last August against the same team.
And it was Victor Robles who had a base hit.
And it was Victor Robles. So I don't like this universe. Stop playing this game with us. Let's change the narrative with this team. But again, they're facing one of the best in the game tonight. How do they bounce back?
Well, I mean, you got to get contributions from your biggest bats in the lineup. I mean, obviously, you've got to get Julio going. It's against a lefty. Mitch Garver's out there against a lefty today. He's your catcher. Cal Raleigh's DHing. Randy Arozarena out in left field. It's got to be the guys at the top of the order, I think, because you look at the bottom of the order today, Donovan Solano at first, Dylan Moore at third, Ryan Bliss at second, JP at short. None of those guys are ones that will put a big charge into the ball. They're not ones that are going to be hitting for much power. Skubal gave up a pair of home runs in his first start of the season against the Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers have probably the best lineup in the game, but still, there's going to be opportunities to score runs on him. You're just going to have to hope that your top four in the order, the guys that you have, made a big point in saying, like, this is the core of our offense, they've got to get going today. They really do, because once you get past those four, it doesn't look like there's many opportunities.
They got to get going, and Julio has to lead the charge. You said he's the best in the box so far this year. Obviously, Polanco has made some damage as well. Have you seen any change? The knock with Julio was just always chasing the slider outside of the zone. He's not balanced. Are you still seeing that, or do you see some progress in this young man?
I mean, God, that strikeout he had last night, where I don't know what he was swinging at on the third strike. I don't know what he was swinging at on the second strike. It was 3 pitches in 3 completely different locations, and he was swinging at 2 of them, and it was just like, dude, what are you doing here? Like, it just didn't seem like he had much of a plan in that at-bat. Maybe he did, and it was just like, I got to make contact no matter what. But he does kind of look like he's falling into those old traps where, like, I got to hit an 8-run home run to jumpstart my game, jumpstart this offense. It's like, that's not how it works, man. You can't hit. You can't get more than 1 run if it's just you out there. Like, you can't get more than 4 runs at a time if there's runners on base. Like, don't swing from your heels. Just take what's been given to you, and hopefully, get on base, work some magic with the wheels. I think, 9 of the Mariners' 15 runs this season have been scored via the home run. We heard a lot this offseason bump about how they want to score in multiple ways. They want to be active on the base paths. It kind of feels like the traps that were laid out last year are back, and you don't want to be too discouraged by this start. But again, getting into these bad habits can be kind of nasty, because I would say baseball, more than any other sport, is the toughest to shake a bad habit in, just because of how long the season is, how day-to-day it is, where in football you get that week off in between to work out the kinks.
Right.
Basketball, you get a couple nights off here or there, same with hockey. Whereas baseball, it's like you're back at it the next day. Like, let's see it. Let's see something different than what we've been seeing. You don't want to fall into these bad habits that can pile up quickly on you.
Oh, not a concern, but something that we were interested in seeing was this bullpen. I think that with the game before, you get down so early, you don't put a lot of your high leverage guys in there last night. Got to see Santos last night. Just a quick recap of what you've seen out of this bullpen so far.
Still kind of figuring out their roles, still kind of figuring out who gets the ball where. Trent Thornton giving up the home run last night, didn't like that. Didn't like to see that, especially. Now, it wasn't a spot where the Mariners were trying to hold on to a lead or anything, but again, I kind of feel like they had big expectations for him, especially because he had a decent year last year. I think they want him to maybe be one of those high leverage guys earlier in the season, while they're waiting for Matt Brash to come back, while they're waiting for Troy Taylor to come back. But right now, I mean, Thornton has been kind of hold your breath when he's in there early on in the season. Like what I saw from Santos, even though he gave up the hit last night. Gabe Spire was nice with his 2 strikeouts. Jonathan Diaz, I can't imagine he's going to be much more than just kind of like a mop-up guy at this point. Maybe make an emergency start here or there, especially with Hancock getting sent down to Tacoma. But, yeah, Thornton's the one right now, Bump, that I'm circling that I'm kind of like, okay, it's been a couple of appearances now. Let's sort this out.
Let's shake it up, man. Let's shake it up. All right, man, let's move on. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
The NFL is bringing back the dynamic kickoff in 2025 and beyond, but touchbacks will move to the 35-yard line. Curtis, what's the real headline?
Real headline, get ready to hear complaints about this from your dad.
Yeah.
That's what was wrong with the old kickoff?
The 35, you might as well put them in the red zone. Wow, I want the collisions, Dad. Dad, it's safer, Dad.
Yeah.
All right. And
we're going to see players last longer. We're not going to see as many head injuries.
We want the ball in play so you can see those electric returns that you used to see. I'm all good for this, man. I love this. I think it provides more jobs, honestly, because the kickoff was dead. The kick return was dead, and we lost the excitement of having those big returns, man. It's as close as you're gonna get to a home run in football, right? This one kick, catch it, get out of there, change the game. I'm good with this.
I think the 35-yard line is the furthest down the field that I'm okay with being a touchback. Anything further, sorry, I'm out, because you're basically at midfield. Anything beyond the 35, like let's say, the 40-yard line is where you get it. Well, then what's the point then? Like, what's the point of kickoffs? Just what's the point of returning kickoffs if you can automatically get out to like the 40-yard line? I like the dynamic kickoff for the reasons that you said, Bump. It brings back the excitement to an area of the game in which was severely lacking. I remember, what was it, week 1? There were multiple kickoff returns. It was just an aspect of the game that was just losing its luster, and now it matters again. So shout out to the NFL for figuring that out and making it safer, too. I think this is a win for everybody.
There's nothing like having a returner catch the football, and you see the crease. You're anticipating, is he going to hit it? Even if he gets tackled, you're like, you're so close, man. You're right there. The next one, you're going to get him. I was so tired of seeing guys back there doing the T.Y. Hilton sign saying no return. I'm like, come on, man. Put the ball in play. Let's see this. So I'm with you, Curtis. Thank you, NFL. Let's keep it rolling.
Headline rewrites.
When asked about how negotiations are going between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons, Jerry Jones responded, he doesn't even know the name of Parsons' agent. What's the real headline?
Real headline, I've never been an NFL GM, but that seems like something you should know.
You probably should.
That seems like a pretty important piece to any negotiation with a player who's not choosing to represent themselves, especially your franchise.
He's your best player.
Defensive end. Yeah, he is the guy on your defense, maybe the best young defensive player in the entire NFL. And Jerry Jones is like, I don't need to worry about that.
You should know his agent's name, his mama's name, his grandma's name, his cousin's name. Jerry, you should be all over this, man. And again, what do we expect from Jerry, though? Does he ever just say the right things?
No.
Is he ever just locked in the way that we expect him to be locked in? Nah, man, this is Jerry Jones. The scary part about this is that he's raising little Joneses. All right, he's raised them, and they're just going to take over and do the same thing that he's doing.
Right. His son, I believe, is their acting GM. Like, Jerry he's in charge of everything. Like, don't get it mixed up. Like, Stephen Jones, yes, has the title of GM, but he doesn't hold a lot of power in the organization. Everything goes through Jerry.
Just the title.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine, what is it, tomorrow's the John Schneider show. Let's say Wyman asks, how are talks going with so-and-so? And Schneider's like, good. Don't know who his agent is.
Don't know his agent's name.
But, I think things are going good. It's like, what?
Yeah, man. Jerry strikes me as the guy that is not going to accept a lot of help.
No.
And then because he's not going to accept the help, people are reluctant to even say anything. So when he goes out in front of that camera, his team is just finding out what he's going to say, just like us. They have no idea what's going to come out of his mouth. But that's his squad, man. The most valuable franchise in the world. So I guess he's doing something right.
Yeah.
Doing something right. Come on, Jerry. Next up.
Headline rewrites.
Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie says a contract extension is coming Nick Sirianni's way. What's the real headline?
Real headline, good luck getting it to him with Big Dom standing in the way.
That's a big security guard, right?
It is.
Big Dom. Have you seen clips of Sirianni at the league meetings defending like the tush push and all that stuff?
Well, I mean, that's his bread and butter.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that's the reason for the Eagles' success. I mean, you've got Saquon Barkley who can get you a 1-yard touchdown run with the best of them. Jalen Hurts also very effective running the football as a quarterback. But yeah, I mean, I would be doing everything in my power if I were him to be like, yeah, keep this thing around because, he was the first head coach to really put it in practice. And I would imagine that him championing it is going to be a big emphasis and importance for him. I can't believe 16 teams are against it right now. Basically, half the league is like, no, we don't want this anymore. Why?
Because they're not good at it.
Exactly.
Because Philly is successful 86% of the time when they do it, and they don't know how to do it. And let me tell you, first go get you some big offensive linemen.
That's the thing, yeah.
They're averaging like 330 on that line. 6'4 to 6'6 is crazy. Personnel matters, just like anything else, right? Remember when the Dolphins were the greatest passing game in the league for a little bit? Why? Because they had the personnel to do it. When you look at the play action game, why were the 49ers and the Rams and the Vikings so great at it? Because of personnel. So I've said this before, I'm just tired of hearing about the data says guys are getting hurt. The data does not say that. You guys are not getting hurt on that play. You guys just can't do it as good as the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think that is soft. All right? Do it. Create a defense. Get a defensive package that allows you to stop these guys. But, yeah, Sirianni, man, he bought himself like 4 or 5 years. He's good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's his second Super Bowl trip. Like, I've always thought if you win in a market like that, you're good for quite a while. Especially, I know the Eagles have one previous Super Bowl, but like that is one of the most starved fan bases every year. And so when you have a head coach that has brought you a consistent winner year in and year out, I think that's something that they would absolutely love to have around.
All right, Sirianni's good. And we are just getting started here. We have a short show for you today, 2 hours. The Mariners play at 1:10. But when we come back, the MLB, ESPN, ranked MLB's top 100 players. And guess who's getting some love? Seattle. That's coming up next.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob. Weekdays 2 to 7.
We got Charlie Furbush in studio with us.
Logan Gilbert is like my spirit animal. How he pitches, how he attacks hitters, and right there behind him is Bryce Miller. I mean, when you look at an actual pitch, they both have this splitter now that is just incredibly effective. I was always jealous of guys that could throw that pitch because it really acts like a fastball a lot of ways, and then it comes in and drops off the table.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Music that moves your soul. Live at Muckleshoot Event Center, Thursday, April 24th. Get tickets before they sell out at muckleshootcasino.com.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. Let's do it again and get vaccinated, because we're at over 6 times greater risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Gen X, this is our shot. Visit VaxAssist.com and schedule a vaccine today. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. But what about when you want to sell your car? Of course, you want to get the most money possible. But how do you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Well, that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. They've already given back over $750,000 to their customers. Mark, GM of Wayscar Ford, joins me, and it's such a great offer. But to clear up any confusion, is this like a consignment, and how can you offer this?
It's not a consignment, Stacy. A consignment, the dealer that's trying to sell your car hasn't paid you yet. We pay you right up front. No more insurance, no more maintenance. All that's gone. After that's done, we pay half the profit. It's that simple. There's no magic to this. All the money we're saving by not buying at auctions, the shipping fees and the travel, we're giving it back to you. That's how it works.
So get the most money possible at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn and let them do the work.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
This is the Bump and Stacy Show. Curtis Rogers in for Stacy Rost. And ESPN did the rankings. I love me some good rankings, man. Even if they're horrible, I like them because it gives you something to talk about. Like, oh, what are they doing? They're tripping.
I think the worse the ranking, the better.
Yeah, I agree. The worse, the better, because then we get to go on X and bring it up on our show and just act like we're so much smarter than the people who put these lists together.
No one likes a ranking where it's like, yeah, I can I can see the vision.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that. Yeah. No, but on this one, I like this one. There's some love there. So ESPN put out their top 100 players. I'll go through the first 10, and there are going to be no surprises here, right? Got Shohei at 1. Bobby Witt, my favorite player outside of Seattle.
He's so good.
2, though, man. I wasn't expecting him at 2. Maybe top 10, but not 2. But all right. Mookie Betts at 3. Got Judge at 4. Okay. Skeens at 5. Ramirez with Cleveland at 6. Yordan Alvarez 7. You got Juan Soto at 8. Zach Wheeler 9. And then Tarek Skubal. I want to call him Tariq so bad, but it's Tarek Skubal, okay?
We're going to see him number 10 today.
We're going to see him today. He's number 10, and that's going to be a great chance for us to bounce back. But Mariners got some love, man. We got Julio at number 26, Logan Gilbert at 49, Castillo at 51, Kirby at 57, Cal at 86, and Bryce Miller at 98. Curtis, when you brought this to my attention, the first thing myself and our guy Justin Barnes says was like, look, man, what are we talking, prospects? We got 5 top 100 prospects? We're talking
dudes.
Big leaguers, man. Big leaguers. Is Julio at 26 too high, too low?
I think it is a good spot to have him in. You wish it was higher. Entering year 4, you had hoped that he would have developed into one of those top 10 guys at this point.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened. I don't think you can be mad with having a top 26 player on your roster, for sure, especially as someone as young as him. I mean, this is age 24 season, so it's not like this is a guy who's on the back half of his career. I mean, he's supposed to be entering his prime seasons about now. But number 26, I think, is a fair ranking for Julio, considering the amount of WAR he's put up his first 3 seasons in the bigs. And, I mean, even though last year was a down year, he still put up nearly 5 wins above replacement. So if that's a bad year for any player, I think 26 is a very fair spot for somebody.
I'm just waiting for the text lines to blow up and say, he's not worthy of 26.
He's not even top 100.
What are we doing? But, the other people feel differently about this whole thing. All right, let's move down the line. Logan at 49. Correct me. I thought he'd be a bit higher than this, me personally.
Yeah.
You feel like this is a good spot for him?
I think he has the potential to climb very high on this list, especially considering his workload, where he led the American League in innings last year. I believe he finished second in strikeouts to Tarek Skubal in the AL. So there is a great possibility that this is not anywhere close to the final form that Logan Gilbert could potentially be as an ace-level pitcher in baseball. So I think there's definitely room for him to climb, and I think his floor is very high in terms of the kind of pitcher that he is. I think of the 5 guys in the rotation right now, Bump, I think he's the one I worry about the least.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, you're going to get at least 5 out of him, probably closer to 6 and 7. I mean, heck, even last night wasn't the best start he's ever had, but still managed to strike out 10 batters in those 5 innings of work. So he's the guy that I just kind of set it and forget it in the rotation, and that's a great thing to have out of any pitcher that's going every 5th day.
All right, behind him we have Luis Castillo at number 51.
I think that's maybe more due to past performance than future value.
That's that NFL Pro Bowl selection.
Yeah, that's the Bobby Wagner All-Pro, honorary All-Pro every single year, even though Bobby Wagner has not been, in my opinion, that kind of player for at least probably 3 or 4 years now. Not to say that, we're expecting a dramatic fall off from Luis Castillo or anything. He still was pretty good in his first start of the season in that loss to the A's, but I don't know if I would have him the second highest rated starting pitcher even in this rotation right now. Not a knock against him. I think that speaks to how much talent there is 1 through 5 when all these guys are healthy, but 51 for Luis Castillo, that seems like, hey, you were a former All-Star. You were a guy who finished in top 5 Cy Young voting over the last couple of years. Last year ended the season on the IL, hoping that he can kind of regain that form that he had at the start of last season. But 51 right now, maybe a little bit too high for my liking.
So what if we flip these two? What if George Kirby, who's at 57 now, was at 51? Or do you feel 57 is appropriate for Kirby?
I think I would put George ahead of Luis Castillo in terms of just what they can be this season. Now, Kirby's got to make sure that he's healthy when he gets back. He hasn't gone out on a rehab start or anything like that. We don't know. We don't know when if he'll be back, before May. It sounds like, they're going to give him the rest of the spring that he missed before he rejoins this rotation. But I think stuff-wise, Kirby has just incredible stuff he's working with. Would love to see him go more out of the strike zone to avoid, a lot of those home runs that he allows. But I think the Mariners are much better off with George Kirby long term than they are with Luis Castillo. I mean, look, the Mariners tried to trade Luis Castillo.
Right.
At least that's what the rumors were this offseason, where he was always involved in those talks with like the Mets, with the Red Sox, with all these teams that were looking for starting pitching. So, that might speak to how the Mariners view these guys as well. The one that they were trying to move the most is the one that ESPN has ranked the highest. Interesting.
Do you think he's going to have much trade value after this year or during this year?
Castillo?
Yeah.
I think he will, because there will be less money owed to him the rest of his contract. And I think if you were to ask any Mariners fan of the 5 starting pitchers that you would be okay in moving, who would it be? I think most of them would probably point to Castillo, just because of his age and the money left on his contract. It's not reaching a problem, I don't think. I don't think what he's got left on his contract, which I think is, 2 years, 3 years after this season, I don't think it's going to be a hindrance to anything that the Mariners want to do this year. So I think Luis Castillo right now, that 51 ranking might be a little bit high. I think the thing that stands out to me most about this bump is just the number of Mariners on this list compared to the rest of the league. You look at the teams that are above them, the only teams that have more guys ranked on this list are the Dodgers, your Dodgers, with 9. The Phillies, Braves, and Yankees each have 7. When you say that, when you look at the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Braves, and the Yankees, what do you think of? You think of October baseball.
Right.
You think of teams making deep runs into the playoffs, teams making the World Series, reaching the World Series. I mean, all 4 of these teams have been to a World Series in the very recent past. The Dodgers won it last year. The Yankees were the American League representative. The Braves won it in 2021. The Phillies represented the National League, I think, in 2022. So, I mean, this should be leading to more success in October. The more talented guys you have on your roster, the better your team should be. I think that's just kind of the confusing thing about all this is like, man, why then does it feel like the ceiling of this team every year is like 88, 89 wins? Like, if you're the 5th most talented team in baseball, at least according to this measure, like, shouldn't you be winning at a much higher rate just simply because of the talent you have on your team?
You should. It makes sense to me, Curtis. Real quick, got about a minute left, man. Cal Raleigh's at 86. Got Bryce at 98. Bryce, okay, I can understand. Bryce Miller, okay. All right, I see that. 86 seems a bit high for me, Curtis. I was trying to see how many catches were in front of him. So far, I think it's just a young man from Baltimore. What do you feel about possibly the best catcher in the game being ranked 86?
I mean, catcher's always an overlooked position. It's always one of those spots on the team where it's like, oh yeah, if you have a good catcher, it's such a luxury to have. But so often catchers are guys that just don't get that kind of love. So to see Cal finally get that national recognition, even though it may not be as satisfactory as a lot of us are hoping for, I think it's progress.
All right. There's the list. Julio at 26, Logan at 49, Castillo 51, Kirby 57, Cal at 86, and Bryce Miller at 98. When we come back, we'll hear from Maryland's reliever, Colin Snyder, on the Emerald Queen and Casino Book Hotline. That is next.
Blue 88 on Brock and Salk.
How does the McDonald-Schneider tandem look like the Carroll-Schneider tandem in terms of figuring out who they want to have play here?
Every day at 7:45.
I think it's a little bit different, Salk, because certainly they both say the same thing. We want guys that love football. But the optics and the lens through which Pete Carroll looks at that and Mike McDonald look at that are different because their wiring is very, very different.
Blue 88, answering 3 football questions as only Brock Heward can.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bumpus here for Silver Reef Casino. Man, I think I'm going to make the trip up north this weekend. I have to switch some things around, but I'm excited to walk into that room and see the deluxe king room with the views. It's going to be awesome. They also put some money in my pocket, so when I go down to the best steakhouse north of Seattle, I got some paper. And also, I might switch it up, feeling like some Mexican food, and go to the new Cantina. But you know I'm a sports guy, so I got to watch my sports. I got to watch my hoops, watch my baseball. I'm going to go to Porter's Bay Sports Bar, have me a few, and just enjoy the scene. And if the weather is good, probably isn't going to be good, I'm going to put on my rain gear and visit Loomis Trails Golf Course. The least I can do is hit that range and go visit the historic clubhouse. There's so much for me to do this weekend when I hop on 5 and I go to Silver Reef Casino. If you are feeling like you got some FOMO, don't worry about it. I got a plan for you. Visit silverreefcasino.com. You book your stay. You might even see your boy up there. Visit silverreefcasino.com.
Are you working in the refrigeration industry? Are you staying up on current regulations? Well, Local 32 can help advance your career. That's right. Learn more at ualocal32.com. Again, that's ualocal32.com.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
Hey, you got this. Just breathe. Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Protein, protein, protein. Everyone is trying to get protein in their diet, but we need fats too. Healthy fat, that is, like the rich, natural peanut and almond butters found at G2G protein bars. Most bars don't have it because, well, most bars aren't real food or refrigerated. Fortunately for you, we aren't most bars. At G2G, you'll find a balanced helping of protein and healthy fat. The fact that they're delicious is just a bonus. They're fast, easy, and perfect for on-the-go families. G2G protein bars. Find them in the refrigerated section at Costco.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
For Down Territory, going inside the game with Michael Bumpus.
I like this. More quarterbacks should start doing this.
Every day at 11:15 and 1:15 on Bumpin' Stacy.
Mike Salk here, and luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where comfort meets elegance. And this summer, you can experience the breathtaking Cascade views, the world-class dining and entertainment, and elevate your next getaway by combining effortless style with the utmost relaxation. Plus, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel's award-winning outdoor summer concert series is back with amazing artists like Hanson, Austin Jenks, Melanie Fiona, and POD. This summer, overlooking the beautiful Snoqualmie Valley, snocasino.com for tickets. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. so the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
This is the Bumpin' Stacy Show. We got Curtis Rogers filling in for Stacy. I'm Michael Bumpus, and now we are joined by Mariners Colin Snyder. Colin, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, man. Thanks for taking time out of your day. The first question I want to ask you is, all right, what was your favorite subject in high school? Because you just don't get into Vanderbilt. You know, there's some schools where I'm like, all right, Stanford, Vandy, Duke and stuff. You got to be on point. So what did you like in high school?
I think I was more into, like, my history classes, to be honest.
History. Is there, like, a certain era in history that you liked?
Oh, kind of all of it. A lot of the World War II stuff always, piqued my interest in high school.
Yeah, I love those. I like watching the History Channel when they bring all that stuff and put it back in color and stuff. It really catches my eye. But yeah, I'm with you. History, that was my favorite too.
Well, Colin, you had a appearance a couple nights ago against Spencer Torkelson that I was really interested in. It was an 11-pitch at bat. You guys were locked in a duel, 3-2 count. You ended up getting him out in a line out to left field. What's that process like out on the mound when you and the batter are just neither one of you are giving in, and it just kind of feels like, well, I've shown all I can show. Like, here, how do you get a guy out when it gets to pitch 9, pitch 10, pitch 11 in that bat?
Yeah, it's kind of like you just said. Like, you just can't give in right there. Especially that at bat specifically, I didn't really have good feel for my four seam. So you might not have been able to tell or not, but I think I shook Cal 4 or 5 times in a row. It's calling four seam. I kept shaking to my slider. It's like, I know this is a pitch that I can throw in the zone right here, and just challenged him with it. And it's like, just please. Didn't want to go 11 pitches, but it's just kind of like, hey, put it in play and get out of here quicker, please.
Hey, so when you have moments like that and you're going to what feels right and you're shaking Cal off, what's the conversation like between you guys when you get into the dugout?
Oh, I mean, there's really not one. We kind of have the process of, like, you got to throw the pitch you're most convicted in. So if we're not on the same page, there's not really a fault or a blame there. It's more just like, I'm going to throw the pitch that I'm most convicted in at that time. Sometimes hindsight's 20/20, and it's not necessarily the right pitch, but if it's the pitch that you're wanting to throw in that count, to me, it's never the wrong pitch.
Right.
Colin, one of the big topics to start the season in baseball is torpedo bats. I'm sure you guys in the clubhouse have talked about it.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a bit. What's that like from a pitcher's point of view, where it's kind of like, okay, is this something that you guys are like, hey, that's an unfair advantage? Or is it just kind of like, well, if you're not tinkering with stuff, you're not really trying to improve?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't really know how I feel about it. I did see someone, I think it was Strom with the Phillies. I was like, okay, if you're going to let hitters kind of make these adjustments, maybe let us pitchers get something for grip, maybe. Just the whole sticky stuff, whatever. Like, there are games where it's 40 degrees outside and the ball feels like you're kind of throwing a pool ball. But we get no help there, but the hitters can reshape an entire bat. Again, I'm kind of indifferent on it. Like, I got to execute my pitch. And when you're looking at the homers that the Yankees hit that first series, they're hitting pitches that are out over the plate. So, they're not necessarily quality pitches. They're not hitting jam shots over the fence. So I don't know how much it is the bat. I don't really care that much, but I do kind of think that there's an argument to be made that pitchers should be able to get something in return, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that. I'm big on just the mental of mental game of any sport, right? It could be baseball, soccer, basketball. It doesn't matter. What's it like in between your ears where when everything is working for you? Like, do you self-talk to yourself? Is it everything blank? Like, walk me through what that feeling is like.
Yeah, I'm a big self-talk guy, and my self-talk is verbal. It's not just like a voice in my head. So I've learned over the years, and I've taken a lot of practice over the years to get to this point to where I'm constantly speaking things aloud to myself, like putting positive thoughts in my head and also putting positive thoughts out into the universe while I'm on the mound. And sometimes it's like, screw it, let's get to the next pitch. And sometimes it's like, heck yeah, like keep on this guy and keep attacking him.
Colin, getting back to your Vanderbilt days, did you have a chance to catch their win over Alabama this year? I imagine for all you Commodores out there, that was probably one of the biggest highlights you guys have ever had on the football field for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that was one of the first, to be completely honest, one of the first Vanderbilt football games I've watched in a while. It was like the second quarter, and we were up, and I was like, okay, like, let's just leave this on and kind of see what happens. I might flip it if the lead changes or whatever, and just kind of kept holding on. And next thing you know, there's like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and I'm like yelling at the TV, and my wife's like, what's going on? And yeah, that was awesome to watch. They had a pretty good season this past year, so it was fun to watch.
Yeah, Vanderbilt did. That was a big game for those guys. I love seeing just those type of upsets. I read something about you while you were at Vanderbilt, and your teammates described your sinker as disgusting. When did you discover that pitch?
Think back in high school. I wasn't a guy that was like an overpowering velocity pitcher, so I really kind of honed in on pitches that were moving for me and trying to locate it, and that's kind of where the sinker came into play. And then as I progressed through college, my velocity went up, so the pitch movement and profile just really kind of, I'd say it went from like a two-seamer in high school to a pretty good sinker in college.
Colin, you got a short road trip coming up here against the Giants. You've got another homestand right after that. Kind of a weird start to the schedule here. Is that something you guys kind of notice when the schedule gets in out? Like, where are the road trips? How long are the road trips? It just kind of seems a little funky that they would have one so short here to start the season. Then you guys are right back home.
Yeah, it is a little weird. I don't really think much about it. The ones that kind of get you are like when you're on the road for 8 or 9 days and you have like 2 off days in random cities. Those tend to kind of like sneak up on you a little differently, but a quick trip out of here and then coming back, it's a little different, but it's not anything out of the crazy like those long road trips.
All right, Colin, last one for me. We love to big ups the Northwest whenever we get guys who aren't from around this way. Have you found your favorite spot to eat yet?
Oh, absolutely. Din Tai Fung.
All right.
We absolutely wear that place out.
Got to get you like a membership there or something. We'll hook you up, man.
All right, Colin. Yeah. Anytime family comes in town, sorry, we're going to Din Tai Fung.
There we go.
Nice. Last one for me, Colin. You're a Titans fan, correct?
Yes.
All right. Who are they taking number 1 overall?
I think they're going Cam Ward.
They better go Cam, right. Colin.
Yeah. I liked I think it was Carter, the edge rusher from Penn State, but after the pro day, I think they're going Cam Ward. And I'm okay with it.
You guys heard it first here, Colin Snyder. Cam Ward, number 1 pick for Tennessee, baby.
Yeah, the guy. The phone you're using belongs to the only other Titans fan that I know. So you guys can chat about.
Yeah,
that.
We just talked about that.
There he goes. That's M's Colin Snyder. Colin, we appreciate your time, man.
Thank you, guys.
All right, man. Take care.
Colin.
That was Colin. Yeah, him and Lefkoe can just nerd out over the Titans.
Man.
I don't know any other Titan fan. Honestly, I don't.
Truly, yeah. I don't know anybody else who's rooting for them. But
no.
Those two, they can – I mean, Colin's probably got something else to do before the game, but Lefko will talk his ear off about Titans.
You know, the Titans might be my C team because Cam did start at Wazoo, Incarnate War, 2 years at Wazoo, so I might claim him a little bit. All right, when we come back, we got Get Off My Lawn and 4 Down Territory. That is next here on the Bump and Stacy Show.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob. Weekdays 2 to 7.
We got Charlie Furbush in studio with us.
Logan Gilbert is like my spirit animal. How he pitches, how he attacks hitters, and right there behind him is Bryce Miller. I mean, when you look at an actual pitch, they both have this splitter now that is just incredibly effective. I was always jealous of guys that could throw that pitch because it really acts like a fastball a lot of ways, and then it comes in and drops off the table.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF Group, or People Come First Construction Group, and that's exactly what they did when we made the call a couple years ago. We wanted to redo our outdoor space, wanted to add a deck and outdoor living, a television, and a kitchen. And PCF Group, wow, they more than delivered. And if you're interested in building a stunning outdoor area like we did, I cannot recommend them enough. Reach out before the good weather arrives, and their schedule, well, it's going to fill up. So whether you're looking for a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you covered. Design now and pay later. In fact, get 12 months, no interest and no payments, and up to $6,000 off and a $1,000 Amazon gift card. Request a complimentary design and estimate consultation at 425-629-8476 or project ideas. Explore photos at pcfgroup.com. That's 425-629-8476.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Did you hear?
A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped Game 2 against the Tigers last night 4-1. Logan had 10 Ks, but the M's could only produce one hit. First pitch today is at 1:10. Castillo is on the mound. The Kraken are back on the ice today, taking on the Canucks. Pucks drops at 7:40. It was a big night in the NBA. Curry dropped 52, and the Joker becomes the third player with a 60-point triple-double. Unfortunately, it came in a loss.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross. Here we go now.
It is Wednesday. It's not 10:45 because we got on Colin Snyder and got to learn about his love for the Tennessee Titans, his sinker at Vanderbilt, and that nice battle he had. What, 11 pitches is what you said, Curtis?
Yeah, against Spencer Torkelson.
Yeah, nice little battle he had. So we have to push, get off my lawn to 11 o'clock. So let's get right into it. Let's get it.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right. I got 4 today since
we're
going to go a little longer here, right? It's a longer segment.
Time.
So I got 4 today. The first one I'm going to go to is, you know me, Curtis. I like going to sports bars. There's a few things that I do in my life. I'm a man of routine.
It's when you're in your element.
I'm in my element,
amongst
right?
the people, for sure.
I take my kids to practice. I show up to work every day. I golf, and I go to sports bars. That's my thing. You know, as long as the significant other ain't tripping, I'm going to go have a beer and go to sports bar. And I try to go to different sports bars, man. And there's something that just irks me, and I don't understand why bars would even do this. The minimal size of your TVs out there is 42 inches. If I see a TV smaller than 42 inches in a sports bar, is that a personal TV? Like, what are we doing over there? Can I rent that TV and get my own little booth and, like, just block everyone else out?
Yeah.
Like, why we have 19-inch, 20-something-inch TVs in a sports bar? It makes no sense to me, and I don't have the greatest eyesight, so, I'm really mad now. And I got to ask you to move the game over here. I got to ask if anyone else is watching the games. If it ain't 42 at least, don't put it up at a sports bar.
I should not have to strain my eyes to see what is on this TV in a sports bar setting. 100% with you there, Bum. I need just something that I can feel the heat from, the waves coming at me. Like I don't want to be like, what team are they playing?
I think
kind of looks like the Pacers. I think that's them. That is a no-go for anybody that is trying to find the sports bar for them.
Yes.
I'm in full agreement with you there, Bob.
It's almost like you didn't really have the money to do this, so you forced it. It's like, just wait. Just wait. Get some more investors or something. Big ups to all the sports bars out there. I'll visit you even if you have small TVs, but I will be very frustrated while drinking my drink and eating my chicken strips.
The other thing about TVs at sports bars that drive me up a wall are, now, I get that this is not the main focus of a server or of a bartender in these bars, but know how to work the remote. Know how to work the remote. I should not have to ask to use the remote to find Root Sports, to find ESPN, to find, the game that I want to be watching. Like, you got to know how to work the remote.
Got to know how to work it. I like this from the 206. Bump, you already know a sports bar is legit if we got pull tabs up in that thing. You already know. I will sit there and throw $100 on pull tabs right now. Right now, I'll do it. All right, that's my first one.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Next up. All right, unfortunately, we're going to talk about this twice, but I already had this down as get off my lawn, so I'm just going to do it anyway. Okay? Fans. You people out there who maybe play JV or varsity, and you're highly critical of any sport, baseball, basketball, soccer, football. It don't matter, all right? What they do is hard, and that's why they get paid millions to do it. We saw a fan tear his ACL trying to make a layup at a Hawks game. And I saw that, and I felt bad for my man. I'm like, man, dude, that's just that was too much pressure on that right knee, man. You got to – I actually think it was his left knee. On your left knee, you got to take it easy. That's why I don't play church ball anymore. Fans, you cannot get out there and do what these guys are doing. And that's a perfect example. There was no defense. There was no pressure. He's just going for a layup. He didn't even get it up. He takes that plant step and reps his ACL, and it's all bad. So, listen, give these guys some grace. I know the Mariners aren't hitting the ball right now, okay? I know defensively there's been some suspect play, but you can't do it, okay? So, fans, you can critique and do what you do. Enjoy the game. I don't care, but just keep that in mind. If you were to go out there and sit at third base and have a lefty just pull one your way, you are going to move. I guarantee you.
When you hear that ball hissing at you.
Humming at you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I've got to get out of the way. I am with you there, Bum, because every day, as somebody who is approaching his mid-30s, I think, man, I really cannot do the things that I did as a youth in terms of just like physicality. I remember in high school at lunch, you slam a slice of pizza and drink chocolate milk. A gross combination, but you do it anyway because that's all they've got in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And then the following period is PE, and they ask you to run a mile. I'm not running a mile now with chocolate milk and pizza in my gut. Are you kidding me?
Throw it up.
Yeah,
throw it up.
Exactly. I'm throwing that up immediately. But 18-year-old me didn't matter. He could do anything he wanted in terms of physical fitness. Now, I mean, I've talked about this multiple times on the show. I tore my Achilles crossing the street. What's worse, that or blowing your knee out just doing a layup at a Atlanta Hawks game?
Oh man,
I think maybe mine is even worse, but our bodies just don't move like they used to.
They don't. I used to I train athletes, receivers specifically, and before I hit like 32, I would demonstrate things full speed. In and out the brakes. Go get the football, right? You know how it goes. And now I'm just like, nah, I'm like half speed, breaking it down. Or I'll get one of my young bulls say, look, demonstrate this drill for me, and I'll coach you guys up. So there's limits to this, all right, guys? Enjoy the game today. Talk your talk. Just keep this in mind if you see an E out there somewhere. Next up.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right, this one's interesting to me. So my kids play youth sports. They play flag football, soccer, basketball, and golf. And this happens more in soccer than anything else. My son will go out there. He's 15 years old. We'll go out there. We're getting ready for a league game. It's a game that needs to be officiated properly. And then I will see another teenager out there as the main referee. Why are you putting a 15-year-old out there to ref 15-year-olds? You need a grown man or a grown woman who doesn't feel any peer pressure, who don't give a you-know-what, and will tell these kids when they are wrong. Stop putting these kids in those situations, because then parents are getting hot. They're yelling at this kid. You might ruin his career. If he's 15, the highest he should be repping is like 12, 13-year-olds. He needs to feel like he is physically and mentally superior than these kids who are out there, because I see some janky calls go down, and I hate it for that kid, but I'm also frustrated because the league put him in that situation.
Yeah, youth referees, I feel like total agreement. If you're that age, you should be reffing younger kids, much younger kids.
Yeah.
Once they get to about middle school, it should be adults. It should be, people 18 and older that are the ones refereeing, because those fans in the stands can get nasty when it comes to the things that they say about these referees who are making probably minimum wage, or they're there on a volunteer basis, giving of their time. I don't want anything like that said to a young 15-year-old who, is still a kid in that way. I've had some nasty things said to me as a youth umpire, as a basketball ref, as a flag football ref. But you know what? I was a full-fledged adult when that happened. And when that stuff happens, you just shake it off. You don't make much of it if you're, an adult. But as a kid, man, that's gonna mess with you. I think back to those kids at the Kraken Iceplex up in Northgate a couple months ago when that stupid fan that stupid parent got down from the stands and shoved the two referees. Like, no kid deserves to have that levied at them. So yeah, if you're in charge of refereeing in your kid's league or any city's league or whatever, do better to protect these kids.
Do better, man. They're kids.
Yeah.
And if you're a parent out there and you see
a child refereeing your kid's game,
just calm yourself down. Yeah. Hey, this isn't the World Cup.
No.
This isn't we're not playing for the Stanley Cup.
No.
There are no cups being won. There's no Super Bowl being won. Just relax yourself. And leagues, don't put that kid in that situation. Yeah. It's crazy to me. Last one.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Man, I will pay top dollar for some food. Like if I'm out, especially when I'm by myself, I ain't paying for five. Right? I'm out, I'm by myself, I will pay some top dollar for some food. I had a chicken sandwich that cost $32.
Beg pardon.
And it was $32. I saw it and I go, you know what? This is probably the healthier option. I have to go with this, but this thing better be so good. And I got it, and it was like I was tearing through beef jerky, man. I'm tearing through beef jerky, and I'm thinking, $32, this thing should be so tender. It should just be falling off after every bite. And then the waiter comes over. He goes, how's everything? And I go, it's all right, man. He's like, anything I can do about it? I go, nah, not really, man. This is probably, in my head I said this is probably just how you guys prepare this. And this just isn't very good. I go, yeah, it's a little rough. It's a little rough, but I'll fight through it. I'm hungry. Only got like 10 minutes. I'm going to get through it. If I'm paying $32, Curtis, for a sandwich.
It better be the greatest sandwich you've ever had.
The greatest sandwich in the world. And that's why I love going to like mom and pops and like food trucks, because there's love, there's passion in it. Sometimes you go to these bigger places, they're just trying to get them in and get them out as fast as they can. $32 on a sandwich that I didn't even really like.
Did it even come with a side?
I got some fries.
Okay.
I got some fries.
So that makes up for it a little bit. I am 1,000% with you. No sandwich should cost more than like $25, even if it is the best sandwich in the world. We're talking bread. We're talking a protein. We're talking maybe some vegetables on it. It's not rocket science, people. It's one of the most basic things you could make for somebody. God, $32 for a sandwich?
Thanks.
That better be an incredible sandwich. And it sounds like it wasn't. And I hate leaving a restaurant knowing that what I spent on that food was not worth.
It wasn't worth it.
Was not worth it at all. It's just kind of like.
You know what you pay for? The decor. Oh, look how nice it is in here. Look.
The mood lighting.
Yeah, we have wood everywhere. It's fresh wood we got from an Oregon.
Do you do what I think a lot of people do in that instance, where if you have a meal that you feel like wasn't worth it, you then immediately leave that place and go somewhere and buy like the cheapest, greasiest burger or the cheapest, greasiest taco from like Jack in the Box or Taco Bell, and you're just like, you know what? Like, I deserve this.
What I just went through, I deserve this. I'm telling you, man, I was so disappointed. And so now I'll only go to that place if I want to have a beverage. And even then, the beverage, it was just
like
so pricey.
$16?
It was so pricey.
Yeah.
I walked out of there with a whack chicken sandwich and a beer and spent like $45 to $50. I'm like, man,
That's
come
like
on,
some
dude.
Climate Pledge.
I might as well have been at Climate Pledge.
I went to the first round games of the NCAA tournament. I bought a beer and a slice of pizza. $31.
Goodness gracious. What's wrong with
it
this
was
economy?
a big slice of pizza, but those two items should not equal $31.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Well, that was the extended version of Get Off My Lawn. We had time today, and I had some things to get off my chest. Thank you. Text lines are going crazy. I appreciate when you guys get in there and share in my anger on Wednesdays. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. We have had a lot of voting on rules during the NFL League meetings this week. What do you think needs to be part of the protocol when rules are approved or denied?
They need to expose who voted for what.
Ooh.
Stop hiding. We do this in baseball, too, with the Hall of Fame votes. Stop hiding. If you feel so strongly about it, put yourself out there. You know who put themselves out there? The Steelers did. They said, look, we want to put an initiative out there so we can start interviewing guys during the negotiation period. You know who else did? The Lions, even though it was whack. They're like, look, man, we want more holding calls. We don't want the holding calls to be an automatic first down, all right? I'm like, look, I don't agree, but I respect it. You know who else did? The Packers. They went out there and said, we are the leaders of the tush push. We don't want the tush push to be in the game anymore, and they put themselves out there. So then you got to table the tush push because 16 of the guys or teams don't want it, but they're hiding. It's like you got to push someone up to the front and say, you guys take all these strays for us. All right, we'll handle it. We'll handle it. No, I want to know who voted for everything. Put it out there. Own this, man. I'm tired of people having to vote for these sports or issues in sports and stuff, and then they just sit in the background and act like nothing's happening because everyone in those meetings knows who voted for what. But the public needs to know. Like, if you are a Titans fan, I don't know why them, because first in my mind, because Colin Snyder. If you're a Titans fan, you need to know what your GM is about. If you're a Seahawks fan, you need to know what your GM is about, what your coaches are about, their personalities, how they view some things, man, because you support that team. Stop hiding. They need to be exposed immediately.
I always thought it's stupid how one team will present the rule change, and that's the only team we know, like, where they stand on this. Like, we know that the Packers stand firmly against the tush push because they lost to the Eagles in the playoffs. But, like, it is ridiculous that we don't know of the other teams that feel that way. I think Nick Sirianni said he was like, Kellen Moore better be voting the Eagles' way. Jonathan Gannon better be voting the Eagles' way, and Shane Steichen better be voting the Eagles' way, because the success of the Eagles is what ultimately got those three guys head coaching jobs in the NFL. He's like, they owe it to me to be on our side in this vote. I thought that was a very interesting point.
I like that. It's your Lions should be whoever helped you get a job. Yeah. All right? Come on.
Second half. Bump, what's going to be the biggest change in the Seahawks offense when we start to see them play here in 2025?
The Seattle Seahawks were under center 30% of the time last year, obviously in shotgun 70% of the time last year. The Minnesota Vikings, it was flipped. 70% of the time they were in under center, 30% of the time they were in shotgun. That's what I expect to see out of these Seattle Seahawks. And it's not just every team doesn't have to be under center, but when you talk about this philosophy, what they want to do, run the football, play action, they have to be under center a bunch. So that's what I expect. On the other side, Kansas City Chiefs were under center 23% of the time, and in shotgun 77% success. You got the Buffalo Bills under center 41%, shotgun 59%, success. Baltimore, this is crazy, this one. Under center 4% of the time.
Wow.
Shotgun 96% of the time, and we know what they did. And then Philadelphia under center 27 and shotgun 73. And we know these teams like to run the football. Philly does, Baltimore does, Buffalo does a little bit more with their quarterback. So just because you want to run the football doesn't mean you have to be under center. But if you're going to be big in the play action, yes, you must be under center. And I also think with the Baltimore Ravens, they just have a different beast with Lamar and Derrick Henry. You want to give Lamar the option to read the defense and pull it if he thinks something is there. That's why he was only under center 4% of the time. But that should be and will be the biggest change we'll see in this offense, at least visually. Like when you line up, we saw Geno under center a handful of times. He got his foot stepped on. He stumbled out of there, and Grubb was reluctant to run that stuff again or as often. So I think visually, before the ball is snapped, that's going to be the biggest difference.
Third down. All right, Bump, we talked to Colin Snyder about what his Titans should do at number 1 overall. So what should the Browns do at pick number 2?
The Browns, this is what they do. At first, I was on the team of go ahead and get Shedeur Sanders and start building the quarterback position. But now I have flipped. Me and Lefko talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I come to the conclusion, you go get Abdul Carter out of Penn State, and then you bring over Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, be your bridge quarterback. You guys aren't going to win the division. You're not going to win a lot of games with Kirk Cousins on the quarterback, but it gives you another opportunity to be bad and go ahead and find yourself a quarterback in the draft. I'm not sure what these quarterbacks look like going forward or in 2026, but that has to be the move. If you have Carter on one side, Garrett on the other side, that might be the best duo in football, even though you're dealing with a rookie. That's how good that young man is. But I feel either way, the Browns can't mess this up. If they do go ahead and get a quarterback and get Shedeur Sanders, you understand. Yeah, you need a quarterback. Deshaun Watson has been absolutely nothing for you. But if you don't, you get the best defensive player, maybe the best physical athlete in the draft, and you team him up with one of the greatest defensive players of all time. They can't mess this up. There's no way they can mess this up. But the Titans can. If the Titans don't go get Cam, they tripping.
Think of the price tag the Browns quarterback room would have if they go out and get Kirk Cousins in addition to already having Deshaun Watson there.
Woo.
That's like half of your cap. Going to one position.
One position. And really one player that can actually help you too.
Fourth down. Bump, who on the Seahawks would make the best baseball player?
Thankfully, we got the great Gary Hill just walked in, so maybe he could chime in on this. All right, he just walked in. We're at T-Mobile. We're in his house. He's allowing us to rent a room like Airbnb. Okay, and I think, Gary, I'm just looking at physical traits.
We trashed the place earlier. Yeah.
What's happening here? Hey, we're taking long showers. We're running up the bill.
There's no more hot water.
You guys gotta go.
So, Gary, I'm just looking at the way they're built and the way they move, and I think JSN could probably be a good baseball player because he gives me like Mookie Betts, and his brother played. He gives me Mookie Betts kind of vibes.
Don't you feel like any quarterback should be a decent pitcher?
Should be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, their whole thing is throwing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I just cheated the question, but that's what I would go with.
You go with Sam Darnold. Any quarterback. Yeah. I like that. Most quarterbacks they've thrown in high school. Who do you think?
I mean, I can't disagree with Gary on that.
Of course not. That wouldn't make any sense.
I'll say I think a safety would make a great center fielder.
Yeah, it's like a Kobe Bryant.
But then I don't know how they hit. I don't know how Kobe Bryant's hitting. I don't know how Julian Love is hitting.
I can make a joke right now about hitting and playing, but I'm not going to do it because we need good vibes today.
So along those lines, Tarek Skubal, you know what position he played in high school football in senior year?
Tight end.
No.
Wide receiver?
No. He was the center.
Really?
Wow.
Dang.
He's classic high school center.
Yeah, classic high school center.
Small guy.
What did he do? Drop 50 pounds? Goodness gracious. Center. All right. Well, it kind of makes sense. You think of the mental part of the game. Centers are pretty smart. I'm trying to make a connection. But again, center. That's interesting.
Really great shotgun snap.
Oh, man.
It's like, hey, back up to 15 yards. Or maybe it's long snapper, too.
That reminds me, Adley Rutschman was a kicker in college.
Yeah.
Really?
For Oregon State. He was their kicker.
He tackled McCaffrey one time.
Yeah.
On a kick return.
There's video of it. Yeah.
All right. See, baseball players, man, they're always sneaky athletic. I know they don't get a lot of love for being athletic.
He's a kicker.
But still, he tackled. You got to tackle somebody.
Yeah.
He tackled somebody.
Somebody.
Man.
Like a real dude.
Yeah. I had to tackle they ran a fake punt at Auburn, and I was back there to return. And they snapped, and there was this big tight end running right at me. I ain't tackled anybody in 4 years, man. It was the ugliest looking tackle you've ever seen. But I got him down, though. I got him down. All right, well, Gary, man, we appreciate you getting there and telling us Sam Darnold is the guy. So if you guys need another arm on the mound, man, I think Sam will be able to hook you guys up. Yeah. All right, man. That was 4 Down Territory featuring Gary Hill and Curtis Rogers, and we're talking about all this random stuff. Let's talk about what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bullpen Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
Curtis, the Kraken face the Canucks at 7:30. Also, a brand new episode of Survivor on CBS at 8 p.m.
8 o'clock. Mariners hopefully will be done by 8 p.m. so we can get home and watch that.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, what's coming up next? We're going to visit the timeline. We got some Ryan Divish news coming up. We're going to talk about what happened in Atlanta as well. And, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they got a new owner. That's coming up next.
When you're on the pitch clock and don't have time for your favorite Seattle sports shows, listen to the podcasts on demand.
How about that? Unbelievable. Who would have thought?
Every hour, every interview, every look behind the scenes.
Dan Wilson's the new skipper.
This is a window. This is a time where we can get it done, and that's the hope. That's the vision for this club.
Find us on SeattleSports.com, the Seattle Sports app, or wherever you get podcasts.
Holy smokes!
Never miss a minute of Seattle sports, the home of the Mariners.
Hey friends, Stacy Rost here. Who has some of the best deals on new Fords and Isuzus in the Pacific Northwest? Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Who has a large selection of the highest quality used vehicles in the Pacific Northwest? That would also be Wayscar Ford in Auburn. And what dealership promises no games, no gimmicks, and never any pressure to purchase? Yes, that is correct. It's Wayscar Ford in Auburn still. Who's the only Ford dealer in all of Washington to offer a 5-day or 500-mile, no questions asked, 100% money-back return policy? Wayscar Ford in Auburn. They offer free lifetime powertrain warranty on virtually all of their new Fords. Who's the only dealer that will purchase your used car, pay you right up front, and then once they resell your old car, return 50% of the profit to you? Only Wayscar Ford in Auburn. They've given over $750,000 back to customers who have sold them their cars. And finally, what dealership has been family-owned and operated in Auburn for over 103 years? You guessed it, Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Visit them at wayscarford.com.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
Lowe's knows how to help pros save. That's why the new MyLowe's Pro Rewards program lets you unlock exclusive member deals on the things you need every day on the job. Plus, MyLowe's Pro Rewards members can get volume discounts on eligible orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Exclusions, more terms and restrictions apply. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
We are Seattle Sports, the home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Watch your favorite show live at seattlesports.com.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Ladies, and you guys too, have you noticed visible signs of aging, those deep wrinkles, fine lines, and facial creases stealing your youthful glow? Sagging skin, crow's feet, and loss of facial contour are all natural effects of aging, but you no longer have to let them define your appearance. Introducing the new Skin Lift, the groundbreaking facelift led by Dr. Brian Scott. The advanced new Skin Lift addresses key signs of facial aging for women and men, restoring natural, youthful contours. Whether it's replenishing volume lost over time or lifting the skin to smooth out those creases, the new Skin Lift can help you look 10 to 20 years younger with both surgical and non-surgical options. It's Hollywood's best-kept secret, and now available to you. Get a free consultation and save $250 off your new skin facelift. Schedule at newskinlift.com or 206-222-1225. Look 10 to 20 years younger and restore your youthful appearance with the new skin facelift. newskinlift.com.
Jay Leno, live Wednesday, April 9th at Muckleshoot Event Center. Come laugh it up with one of comedy's living legends. No politics, no lectures, just jokes, and they're all clean. Get your tickets before they sell out at muckleshootcasino.com. Jay Leno live Wednesday, April 9th, only at Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Muckleshoot. This is The Timeline
with Bumpin' Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
This is The Timeline on the Bumpin' Stacy Show. Curtis Rogers filling in. Just a reminder, this is a short show today. The Mariners have a game, first pitch at 1:10. Curtis Rogers on the pre and the post, so you ain't got to go nowhere to keep listening to this guy, his knowledge.
You've got a short day. I don't. Not that I'm bitter about
Don't worry,
it or
I'll pick up the
anything.
slack elsewhere. I'll be fighting traffic on the 5 to 405. You know,
that makes me feel
it's
better.
fine. Kids at practice and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Who signs their kids up for sports? Anyway. All right, let's get right into it, man. In a statement posted on social media on Tuesday, the Seattle Times' Brian Davis announced he is taking a sabbatical this summer to coach American Legion baseball team in Montana. I'm not going to read the whole statement for you, but they're in Montana. His girlfriend has some kids, and one of his kids is going to play on the baseball team. He is going to be the head coach there. He's going to take he'll be back in August. And Tim Booth will handle some of the duties. Bob Condotta and Shane Lance are going to help as well. So, yeah, man, this is cool for Divish, man. He's a baseball guy, and he gets to be a head coach of a pretty competitive team.
Yeah, I'm excited for him. I especially to be in a spot where you can make this kind of decision, you know, for your career, and just say that, you know, this means a lot more to me than what I'm currently doing. I mean, that's a big step in, a big step in faith there to make that kind of move this season. But like he said, he will be back at the end of the summer. But I'm excited for him to be able to do something that he feels so passionately about. I mean,
he played for them too, right?
Yeah, he did growing up. So that's really, really cool. Obviously, we will miss him on the beat over the next few months. He's always been an incredible resource on this show and also to our station. Doing hits with all three shows around the clock. It feels like during baseball season, but we'll definitely miss that over the next few months.
And Ryan, he's 100 too. He just he
no
shoots
filter,
you straight.
no filter whatsoever.
So I can appreciate that about Ryan. And good luck, man. I'm sure that's going to be fun, man. I'm happy for him. Next up. Notre Dame's women's basketball star Olivia Miles, the projected #2 overall pick in next month's WNBA draft, will return to school and enter the transfer portal rather than turn pro. This is significant because the Storm had the #2 pick in the draft. They have to be disappointed, but I know why she's doing it.
Yeah.
Because she can make more money in college.
She can make way more money in college. There's no incentive to turn pro if you're a collegiate athlete, especially in a sport like women's basketball.
Women's basketball, yeah.
Like, you're going to be making maximum $75,000.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark makes $76,350 last year on the court. Off the court, obviously, she made her money.
She's making that probably in like a couple days with her Nike deal and all the other endorsements she has going on. Yeah, I don't blame Olivia Miles one bit for securing that bag, getting more financially secure by staying in college and going the NIL route than turning pro. Like, that's one thing that the WNBA has to consider over the next, their next CBA negotiations is like, how can we transform ourselves into, attracting the top talent. Now, the top talent does play usually in the WNBA because it's kind of the off season for all the European leagues where all these women go and play when the WNBA is not
and get paid more money.
Right, exactly. I think if you're going to, make sure that you have the top talent in your league, you got to incentivize it.
Yeah, well,
I get that the league has trouble making money, but we are entering into a new era of this league where you see arenas being sold out more. Their TV contracts are significantly better than what they used to be. Franchise values have gone way up. I think, what was it? The Las Vegas Aces got sold for just a few $1 million, and it was Mark Davis who bought the team, and now they're worth over like $100-something million.
Yep.
Just seeing that franchise climb in value. So I think this shouldn't be as surprising as it is. It's just, surveying the scene right now. Yeah, you can make way more money in NIL money than you can with any kind of WNBA contract.
It's a great business move. It makes complete sense. Why go out there and get paid chump change when I can still live the college life and get paid millions, potentially millions of dollars? I understand it, and this has to be kind of a punch to the gut for the Storm and especially the WNBA, knowing that, they're just not to that level yet. But the new CBA, I believe, starts in 2026. They're going to opt out of this one and try to renegotiate. It's more about the percentage of the revenue that they feel like they're not getting. And, so your representatives of the WNBA, the presidents of the Players Association, y'all got some work to do. Yeah. All right, next up. The Atlanta Hawks had a halftime competition go sideways when a contestant tore his ACL going up for a layup. Cut 6.
The first to get all 5 game pieces or tic-tac-toe will be our winner. So, James, Daz, are you ready? All right, then tic-tac-go! Oh! James! Oh, no! Hold on. Let's make sure my guy is good. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
At first she giggled, maybe he slipped. And then you see James holding that knee.
Writhing in pain.
Oh, my gosh, man. This is, I hope the Atlanta Hawks had him sign that waiver. Okay? All right?
Yes.
Sign the waiver. I'm sure they didn't expect anyone to tear their ACL doing a basic layup. And for James, if you are friends with James, you are on his head.
Oh, yeah.
Like my brother. You tore your ACL doing a basic layup in a half-speed competition at an Atlanta Hawks game. But
and I think he was wearing basketball shoes.
Yeah.
He was wearing like Jordan 11s.
He was wearing basketball shoes. But this is a friendly reminder. Listen, you got to move, man. Don't just hop out there cold and try to get going.
Your joints, they appreciate movement.
They don't work the same anymore.
No.
All right. I remember I used to not warm up before I played golf. Just go out there.
No.
Even golf, I'm sitting there doing these weird stretches.
How many back surgeries Tiger Woods has had?
Exactly. My son's like, really, Dad? I go, listen, you little 15-year-old. All right. You can bring that club and touch your back heel with it. I can't do that anymore, kid. So friendly reminder, man. Make sure you warm up before you do some stuff like this.
Dang. Yeah. Do you, if you're the Hawks, do you give him a prize? Maybe not whatever the grand prize was for this, but like
my pity prize,
like a jersey or something. Just like, hey man, sorry about that.
Sorry you weren't in the best shape and decided to go 0 to 100. I think I would. I mean, what's a jersey? A signed jersey?
Yeah, they're a $1 billion organization. What's one signed jersey gonna do?
No, they could do it.
Yeah,
I'd do it.
Trae Young's a good player.
Yeah,
that's a jersey I'd like to have.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Embarrassing though. Next up. At long last, the sale of the Minnesota Timberwolves to a group led by Alex Rodriguez has been finalized. The sale was agreed upon in 2021 for $1.5 billion before NBA franchises value skyrocketed. The original owner, Glenn Taylor, wanted to put the team back on the market, but has now given A-Rod's group full control of the team. How big is this?
It's big for Timberwolves fans for sure, because Glenn Taylor has been one of the worst owners, I feel like, in the NBA for that time. But if you're Glenn Taylor and you see the Celtics go for $6 billion, now obviously Minnesota is, I believe they have the fewest amount of playoff appearances of any franchise in the NBA. Like, they are historically bad.
Yeah.
But you're seeing that price tag, and are like, I may have left a few $1 billion on the table here. Can I get that back?
Wait. Hold on.
And then A-Rod's group is like, fine print says it's our team. Like, they got a screaming deal on a pretty exciting young team, especially with Anthony Edwards, who is emerging as one of the faces of the league, especially as we enter into this era where you're probably not going to have LeBron around. You're probably not going to have Steph. You're not going to have Kevin Durant around. Shrewd business move by A-Rod and his group to secure the Minnesota Timberwolves. 4 years they waited this guy out. So, seems to be worth it.
It was patient. It's good to be patient sometimes. Good to be patient. All right, that is it for the timeline. When we come back, it's time for What I Need to Know, the last segment of the day, because the Mariners play at 1:10. Curtis Rogers is going to be on the pregame show, so get your questions in, 866-979-3776.
The John Schneider Show.
Every Thursday until draft day on Wyman and Bob.
We are now speaking with the architect of your Seattle Seahawks.
How we doing, football fans? With Seahawks President of Football Operations and General Manager John Schneider.
My job is to do what's best for the Seattle Seahawks organization. I have to keep wrapping my mind around that and trying to communicate effectively.
Listen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. or watch the interviews on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
What's the standard the Seahawks defense needs to be held to under Mike McDonald?
The John Schneider Show.
Brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Are you trying to buy a new home, or are you a local real estate agent seeking financing for a client? We're all tired of dealing with banks, credit unions, and endless guidelines. Wouldn't it be nice to go back in time when we had common sense lending? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital based in Bellevue. We are one of the largest local private portfolio lenders in Washington. We've helped thousands of home buyers and real estate investors reach their financial goals by leveraging the Legacy Common Sense borrowing platform. What that means is we lend our own money, we make our own decisions. If your deal makes sense, we'll get it done. Whether you're purchasing a new piece of real estate or refinancing an existing loan, bridge loans, construction, or regular home loan, it doesn't have to be as difficult as banks and lenders make it. If you're trying to grow wealth through real estate acquisition, come talk to the experts in private lending.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. Legacy Group Capital, your common sense lender. LegacyG.com.
Taxes was taxing. Now taxes is relaxing when you file for free.
I can file for free? TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple Form 1040 returns only. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. I can file for free.
Now this is taxes. File for free with TurboTax Free Edition and get your maximum refund. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, and student loan interest. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688. 800-859-6688.
Washington state has the 3rd highest cost of living in the nation. If Olympia politicians raise taxes again, the cost of everything from groceries and gas to housing will go up even more. They've already doubled spending over 10 years, with little to show for it. Washington State needs lower costs, not higher taxes. Demand smarter state spending now at affordablewashington.org. Paid for by people for an affordable Washington and Olympia, Washington. Top 5 donors are Washington Alliance for Competitive Economy, Microsoft, Madrona, T-Mobile, and Alaska Air.
The John Schneider Show.
Every Thursday until draft day on Wyman and Bob.
Listen live Thursdays at 4 p.m. or watch the interviews on the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Protein, protein, protein. Everyone is trying to get protein in their diet, but we need fats too. Healthy fat, that is, like the rich, natural peanut and almond butters found in G2G protein bars. Most bars don't have it because, well, most bars aren't real food or refrigerated. Fortunately for you, we aren't most bars. At G2G, you'll find a balanced helping of protein and healthy fat. The fact that they're delicious is just the bonus. They're fast, easy, and perfect for on-the-go families. G2G protein bars. Find them in the refrigerated section at Costco.
This is Matt Coker from West Coast Men's Health. Has Viagra stopped working for you? Do you hate the side effects? If you've taken Viagra for any length of time, you already know that pills are not the solution to ED. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. No pills, no shots, no surgery. We can also treat Peyronie's disease. Our non-invasive treatment for ED is painless and highly effective. We have treated thousands of men just like you. Stop living with this problem and do something about it. Do yourself a favor, do your partner a favor, and call us today.
Call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com. HSA cards welcome and financing available.
They say teachers don't impact for a year, but for a lifetime. Hi, this is Rick Riz. Join WSECU, your local credit union, as we celebrate those who give so much with the Teacher of the Week program. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. Each week throughout the season, we'll honor one teacher with a $500 grant, courtesy of WSECU. Teachers are the real MVPs. Find out more and nominate a teacher at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's time for What I Need to Know. Get your questions in. 866-979-3776 is the first one. Bump mentioned his kids play flag football. At what age would you allow them to play tackle football, if at all? Now, my kids aren't going to be very big. Okay? They're going to be skill players. They'll be receivers, DBs.
Shifty.
So you don't have to play tackle football, in my opinion, and be good at it if you're playing those positions. If you are an O-lineman, D-lineman, linebacker, running back, you got to feel that pop. It's a different game in between the tackles. So, yeah, wait till 9th grade. I played in 9th grade. I didn't play flag before that. I wish I would have played flag before that. And I had an okay, I guess, amateur football career.
Yeah,
so, yeah, I'd wait. Unless you're a big boy, I think you can wait.
Yeah, I don't have boys. If I did, I think anytime before high school, I'd be a little hesitant about. Just because there's so many kids out there that don't know what they're doing.
And coaches.
And coaches, exactly. They don't know proper tackling techniques. And, I mean, when you're that small, too, like any sort of, like, head injury.
We call them loose necks.
Yeah, that could be very significant.
Yeah.
Gosh, watching those shows like on Netflix, what was it?
Tykes?
Friday Night Tykes.
Yeah.
Where the helmet weighs probably more than the kid's head does.
Yeah.
Like that was a tough watch.
But you do you. I've also seen people let their kids play, and they are ballers. So, it's all what you think. Do your kids know how to push your buttons? Mine definitely. I got 15, 13, and 11. They know exactly what to do. They know exactly what to do. I feel like yours are too young to know how to do it.
Our almost 4-year-old Willa, she's pretty good at that. She knows how to push both of our buttons when we're trying to discipline her, and she has this like evil smile on her face, this smirk where it's like,
got him.
You don't actually mean what you're saying, and it's like, oh,
you ain't gonna do it.
The worst is when you're trying to discipline your kid, and I'm sure this has happened to you, Bump, where you're trying to convey like what their punishment is, or if you say like if you don't do that, or if you don't do that, there's going to be some consequences. And then they're like what?
Yeah.
You don't have a consequence thought of, and you're
Yeah.
just stumbling through your words, and it's like, I've lost.
The hardest
I've
part,
lost.
too, is upholding the punishment.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you can't do this for a week. 3 days in, I'm like, all right, man, go ahead, dog. Go
Yeah.
ahead. You've suffered enough. Let me see. Welcome back, Curtis.
Hey, thanks.
What is your recommendation for first set of clubs for a 30-year-old starting to play?
I don't
What
golf.
is it, Curtis?
Yeah, I don't golf. I would say...
I'd say go to Costco and just get the Costco set.
There you go. Or go to your local thrift store and rummage through the like $4 clubs. Create your own set there. I think
it's like a grab bag.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most fiscally responsible way of buying new clubs.
Yeah, it depends on how much you're trying to spend too. Like, you don't have to get $2,000 irons and a $500 driver.
If
no,
you're just golfing once every few months, don't spend a ton of money. And I'm not even a golfer. This is just me telling you to be more responsible with your money. Don't buy the custom grips. Don't do any of that. Just buy a decent set of clubs. And
decent, you know. And then it depends like who you play with. Like if you play with some fancy country club type, all right, man, make them presentable. We don't want to pull out clubs from like 1982, like
They're made of wood.
Yeah, I'm just trying to save you from embarrassment. Okay, don't have to be super expensive, but
like Ben Hogan out there.
Here's a note. The 3-wood isn't really made of wood anymore. Okay, it's metal. All right, what I need to know: would you get your kids, nieces, or nephews to get an autograph? Would you use them to get an autograph from a star or an athlete for you? Nah, I wouldn't. I don't do autographs, man. And who was that? Jamal Crawford was at one of my daughter's basketball tournaments, and my daughter goes, "Can you get an autograph from him?" I go, "Baby girl, I just don't do that."
Yeah.
You know? But if you went up there and asked for it, I guarantee you he'll give it to you.
Yes.
And she went up there and he signed her basketball.
Yeah, he seems like a very nice guy.
Yeah.
I've never had the chance to meet him, but he seems really nice. Yeah, I always kind of look down on those adults who do use their kids to get autographs for them. That's not the spirit of autograph seeking,
Agreed.
especially as a kid. Like, I remember getting autographs as a kid for myself, and like never once was asked to get an autograph for an adult. Like, I would, if I was a kid, I'd just feel kind of gross about that. It's like, really? You can't ask this guy yourself? Like, if you're an adult that collects autographs, I don't have any problem with you. I have problem with you using your kids or somebody else's kids as a way to get those autographs.
Didn't we see that in a basketball game?
Victor Wembanyama gave his jersey to a kid who was probably like 6 or 7 years old, and then his dad went and auctioned it off on a website and made like $50,000 off of it.
Come on, man.
That's gross.
I like the way you said it, the spirit of it.
Yeah.
The spirit is all jacked up.
Yeah.
What I need to know, can a cop give you a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt in a private parking lot? Hopefully, a cop will text in.
A private parking lot? So, like...
You're just sitting there? Are you driving? Like, what are you doing, though?
Yeah. I mean, if you're sitting there, I don't think he has any right to do that.
No.
Because you're not moving the car.
You're not moving, but you can also get, like, a drunk driving ticket for just sitting in your car behind the wheel, even if it's not on or moving.
Yeah.
See, that's tough. I don't know. I know a sheriff in Snohomish is texting, Andre. Let us know what we can and can't do. What I need to know, who do you trust more? DePoto to build an offense or John to build an O-line?
I mean, it has either happened.
I don't think it hasn't happened yet. Hasn't happened. I would probably say Schneider to build an O-line because I feel like that is easier to do. I think with some of the restraints that DePoto is under, he can't go out and get some of the things that he wants to get. Whereas in the NFL, everyone has the same salary cap, and you can move strategically that way. And then, you know, you can draft an offensive lineman out of college, and he can play for you right now. In the majors, you're not drafting a back, and he's showing up, you know, his rookie season, unless he's 18 and played in the 80s, and his name is Ken Griffey Jr. All right, what I need to know.
How about this one?
Right.
What is worse, getting an injury through something small or stupid, like breaking your leg from jumping off a couch because you got excited over something, or having an embarrassing moment like walking into a wall in front of your friends or family?
I would say probably jumping on the bed. I don't get embarrassed in front of my family. I can run into a wall and just laugh it off in front of my family. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, I feel like your family will only bring it up under certain circumstances. They're going to be like, hey, Dad, remember that time you ran into a wall?
Right.
Now, I think, getting hurt doing something small or stupid is far worse.
Yeah, so you got to tell the story. You're probably going to lie.
Yeah, and then the injury's probably going to linger.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad.
All right, that is it for the Bump and Stacy show. Curtis Rogers filling in, doing his thing. He's going to be on the pregame show. Stacy will be back tomorrow. So if you're tired of hearing me lead this thing, Stacy will be back, and she will do her thing. So you guys don't go anywhere. The Mariners are taking on the Tigers. Curtis Rogers is on at the pregame show. It's been real. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Seattle Sports, your home for Wyman and Bob. Weekdays 2 to 7.
We feel like they have the players. But do they have it on the offensive line? That's a huge question mark.
The only thing that I guess keeps me from being too anxious about the line, when they see a problem, they tend to rectify it right there. I mean, both of your offseason acquisitions at linebacker didn't make it to the end of the season. Why would that be any different with the O-line? If you looked at somebody on that line and said, this guy just does not have it, he'd be gone.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF Group, or People Come First Construction Group, and that's exactly what they did when we made the call a couple years ago. We wanted to redo our outdoor space, wanted to add a deck, an outdoor living, a television, and a kitchen. And PCF Group, wow, they more than delivered. And if you're interested in building a stunning outdoor area like we did, I cannot recommend them enough. Reach out before the good weather arrives, and their schedule, well, it's going to fill up. So whether you're looking for a complete outdoor living space or a very specific project like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you covered. Design now and pay later. In fact, get 12 months, no interest and no payments, and up to $6,000 off and a $1,000 Amazon gift card. Request a complimentary design and estimate consultation at 425-629-8476 or project ideas. Explore photos at pcfgroup.com. That's 425-629-8476.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Mike Salk here, and luxury awaits at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, where comfort meets elegance. And this summer, you can experience the breathtaking Cascade views, the world-class dining and entertainment, and elevate your next getaway by combining effortless style with the utmost relaxation. Plus, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel's award-winning outdoor summer concert series is back with amazing artists like Hanson, Austin Jenks, Melanie Fiona, and POD. This summer, overlooking the beautiful Snoqualmie Valley, snocasino.com for tickets. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hello. Welcome to Lee Johnson Auto Family. This is King. This organization's a special one. They call it the Lee Johnson Auto Family, and it's not just a name. It's not just some cliche. They foster an environment for us to become a family to work together to really become close, and they show us in a lot of different ways that they do value us. Is it perfect? No place is. But I've been very thankful to be here in the almost 10 years and have every plan to stay here for a lot longer and just watch it continue to grow.
He's fun and professional, which explains why so many people visiting Lee Johnson Kia ask for him by name. The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Did you know that your windows and doors are your main source of energy loss? At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, our windows with triple weather stripping and gasket seals are up to 25% more efficient than Energy Star standards. LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
This is Mariners baseball on Seattle Sports.
Take every game with you on the go by downloading the Seattle Sports app.